All right, I'm here with head coach Jedd Soto, getting ready for the second half of the season. Coach, can you kind of talk about the first half and things that you liked and things that you want to improve on?
Yeah, I think our first 12 games, we saw a lot of very good pitching, and our offense was trying to do too much. And, I think defensively we struggled early, and it cost us a few games. And I've been proud to see the guys really improve defensively. I think we, average one of the top double play duos in the country. And offensively, we're taking what they give us, and we're doing a better job of hitting the pitches that they're giving us. And it felt like early on we were pressing a little bit, and the last 12 games we really kind of turned it on. And I like the way the program's headed at this point.
Okay, and here we go. We got USF this weekend, which kicks off conference play. Currently, you guys are sitting fourth after leapfrogging three teams, I believe, this weekend. Kind of talk about this weekend's matchup and then going forward.
Yeah, I think San Francisco, like anybody in the West Coast Conference, is going to be tough. My experience in the 8 years I've been in the West Coast Conference is that everybody puts out a good team, and you kind of clean the slate when conference starts. And given the battles that we've had with San Francisco over the last couple of years, I don't think this weekend will be any different. I think we're going to have to show up focused and ready to play, and we're going to have to do a good job on the mound, which we've done all year long. I think we're going to have to play solid defense, and we're going to have to get some timely hits. And I think that formula has helped us in the last 12 games, and I think we're going to have to rely heavily on that against San Francisco, as I anticipate each game being a real war.
Okay, speaking of the mound, that was one of the things we are going to touch upon. Your starting pitching this year has been just phenomenal. Anderson is one of the tops in the country, the 1.68 ERA, and then Acosta and Barraclough have really come on over the last 3 weeks. You want to talk about your weekend guys real quick?
Yeah, first we'll talk about Mark Anderson. Mark is one of those guys that pitched really well for us last year on Fridays and gave us a chance to win every game we played. And he got better. His stuff is a lot better than it was last year, and it's a testament to his work ethic and his drive to be the best. A lot of what he pitches on is guts, and he's a very fearless pitcher. He'll throw any pitch in any count, and he adapts to the hitters. He sees them adjust, and he adjusts with them. But I think Mark's one of the premier pitchers that we've seen, and we've heard that from a number of programs this year. He's just a dominant force, and we expect him to go out and give us a chance every Friday. Martin Acosta has really turned it on, very aggressive in the strike zone. Martin's got really good stuff. He was probably our best guy this fall, and in the spring he started out a little rocky, a little rough, but he's strung together a few starts that have been very impressive, and we expect him to carry that into conference. And then Kyle Bearclaw arguably has the best stuff of all three, has 5 out pitches, does a good job with holding runners. He's a really good athlete on the bump. And he's done a very good job for us on Sundays, and we don't think that's going to change here as we move into conference play.
Okay, starting rotation's only as good as its bullpen, and this year you guys have used 7 freshmen, which is pretty impressive. You want to talk about that group as a whole and what they've done for you this year?
Yeah, the freshmen have been outstanding. They certainly don't pitch like freshmen. They've pitched like guys that have been seasoned. From the get go. We put some guys into tough situations, and I know there's a bases loaded situation in the third game of the year, and one of our freshman kids went out and was throwing 2-1 changeups, 3-1 changeups with the bases loaded, and got out of a couple jams, and that just kind of filtered throughout the staff. Every freshman is trying to outdo the next guy, and they've done a great job. We like it because we have matchup opportunities late in the game. We have some lefties that just kill lefties, and we have some righties that just kill righties. So we have a lot of options, and it certainly has made it nice for us, and we feel like in any of those situations we can put a guy out there and he's going to get the job done.
Okay, now shifting to the offensive side, you guys have been on a real tear lately. You've scored over 40 runs in the last, I think, 2.5 weeks. You can't really look up this lineup without talking about Troy Channing first. He's really come on. He was named the WCC Player of the Week. Kind of give your thoughts about Troy in the last couple of weeks here.
Yeah, I think Troy was one of those guys early in the year that was pressing. He was trying to do too much. He was trying to hit the big home runs, and was trying to force that pitcher to give him his pitch. And these guys that we saw, they just didn't do that. They just didn't give in to Troy. And it's always hard, a guy that's had the success that he's had his freshman and sophomore year, to come out his junior year and to feel the pressure of the draft and feel the pressure of carrying the team. He's one of our captains. He was just trying to do too much. And fortunately for him and the team, He's made some great adjustments. He's just taking what the pitcher gives him. If they want to feed him balls off the plate, he's done a nice job hitting the ball to right field. And if they want to come in, he'll pull the baseball. But, it's always frustrating when you hit in the middle of the lineup because they're going to pitch around him. And a credit to Kalfas and Wisdom hitting behind him or in front of him. It's really helped Troy out. But it goes back to Troy's maturity and his willingness to hit the ball where it's pitched.
All right, speaking of Patrick Wisdom, the year he's having right now kind of reminds me of Kyle Jensen's sophomore year in 2008. He's hitting literally everything in the strike zone. Kind of talk about his year.
Yeah, Wisdom we saw all fall just absolutely tear the cover off the ball. And, what's overlooked in Wisdom because he is such an offensive power is his defensive ability. He's a soft-handed, he's got a great arm. He's made some exceptional defensive plays. And again, another guy who was probably pressing a little too much early on and is starting to find his groove both defensively and offensively. But yes, as of late, fastballs, curveballs, changeups, he's hitting them all. And it's a good time to have that happen going into conference.
Okay, and kind of to wrap up here, two kind of unsung guys that, when looking at their stats, don't really leap off the page, but I want you to talk about what Michael Gastelum has meant to you, and then also Toby Dimelo, starting off with Gas.
Michael is a special young man. He's a fifth-year senior for us. Started a bunch for us 2 years ago. Last year didn't start as much. Started late in the year for us. But, Michael's a special kid. He's just one of those kids that will outwork and outplay and out-hustle every other guy on the team on a day-in and day-out basis. And it's awesome to see him in his fifth year get to start for us every day at shortstop. He's been as good as any shortstop we've had in this program over the last 12 games. Very focused, defensively, just getting to everything, turning double plays, and everybody on the team feeds off of him. I think when you got your shortstop and he goes out there and makes plays, everyone else makes plays. And he's just done that for us every day. And then offensively, he's been great for us. He's a tough out, and he's gotten some clutch hits with 2 strikes and 2 outs, a bunch. And again, we feed off of that. He's done a great job. The other young man you mentioned, Toby Dimelo, Toby's been awesome. I think defensively, you can't put it into words or numbers what he's done. He shuts down the running game. We almost want the runners to go because he's going to throw them out. He's backpicked
7.
Seven, yeah. He's backpicked 7 guys. And he's always a threat. He's a guy that's a big time catch throw guy. He's a leader for us. He's another one of our captains. And I don't know how many pitches he turns into strikes because he's an exceptional receiver, blocking the baseball. I know he's won us a number of games just blocking the baseball. So his defensive ability alone has been the difference for us. And going into conference, I have no doubt that he's going to continue to shut down the running game. He's going to continue to block and receive baseballs and make our pitching staff better. So, those 2 guys in particular, defensively, they've been phenomenal, and offensively, they've been contributors.
All right, great. Thanks, Coach. The Gaels kick off WCC action on Friday at Benedetti Diamond at 3 p.m.
Great. Thanks, Matt.